We were talking earlier. You deserve some congratulations. You did knock off, or Putin knocked off one of your death list guys. What do we call it?
We call it the death pool.
Death pool. Yeah.
Well, we didn't
probably after the Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call this color blue.
Yeah. We we came up with guessing when people will die. Everybody does that.
I think it's a Clint Eastwood movie called The Deadpool. I think that was the deal. You guessed Alexei. What's his last name?
Navalny. Golf clap for Woody. That's a nice victory for him. Kyle was close with Doc. Wait, who did you get? You got someone who did die.
I knocked off. No, I did. I was the first one on this death pool, obviously, to get one right because the rapper died. The what's his name? The one that DMX.
So it's not so much you guys won the death pool. I lost.
You are losing currently.
Man, I thought Lil Wayne was going to be a good pick, and it can't. Wikipedia doesn't know if Jorge Garcia is alive, and so I could have won also.
That's fair.
I liked the rules. I think everyone had to be below something, 50 or 60.
Yeah,
was it 50?
50 is like hard mode, which we should do. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Because I hate like some guy has inside knowledge that this person just got into a skiing accident and was on death's door, and
that's fair.
Or otherwise, people would have been like, we would have been like, oh, I picked the queen. And it's like, oh, well, that's bullshit. You can't pick a woman in her late 90s. Oh, Betty White.
No, I like the under 50 rule. It makes it interesting. They're not going to die of natural causes usually. They're going to fuck themselves up. And that's why it's interesting to pick people who are more likely to fuck themselves up. Hence all the drug users, thrill seekers, and
people who poke bears.
Yeah.
And people who poke political alienators as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Over in Russia, I hear every day, another magnate or oligarch or the head of this or that or the other suicide, fell off a building, drank the wrong cup of poison. I meant wanted my coffee, but I grabbed my poison cup.
Really? A lot of people fall out of windows and stuff. I think OSHA is to blame, not Putin.
They don't have the regulations there. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Their handrails must not be very safe.
Holding them.
Yeah. That would be a funny, political ad. Like Russia just doesn't have the standards. Left and right, politicians are falling out of buildings, off rooftops, down canyons, into rivers.
Is there like a list? A list of
actually locking themselves on their balcony and freezing to death in the middle of summer. Like all sorts of weird ways people die. It's like that one guy who hung himself and shot himself twice. It's like, oh, I don't know about this one, guys.
Did that really happen?
Yeah,
I think it did. Yeah. Was that a politics thing?
I think there was a conspiracy afoot. He was a witness or someone who was a whistleblower of some kind, if I remember correctly. There was reason to take him out, and then they found him hung and shot twice. The shooting twice thing, from what I understand, isn't crazy uncommon. Sometimes people wound themselves and are still there enough to pull the trigger again. But the hanging thing, I don't know. The whole thing seems weird to me.
Are we talking about Epstein or something else?
Oh, something else. The guy who hung himself and shot himself twice. That was just there's just too much going on. You know what I mean? I don't think he was at home either. I think he was in out on the side of the road somewhere. It's I think somebody did this to you, brother.
There's a whole article, Suspicious Deaths of Russian Business People, 2022 to 2024. So there must be a lot more.
Well, they just had a free and clear election over there. I saw Putin got roughly 90% of the total vote. The other three competitors roundly got about 3.25% each, something like that.
A big winner.
It's my understanding, that if the elections were free and fair, Putin would still win.
I think so. I would guess so.
See, I'm not disagreeing with that idea, but I would be curious about how that data is procured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine a guy coming to you and say, "Tell me, comrade, if you were allowed to vote how you wish, who would you vote for then?" Vladimir Putin. I thought so. I knew. Good guy. I saw you, Igor. I think good guy, Igor. Good guy, Igor. No freedom for him. Do not need.
Well, he's the only leader I've seen speak. So who knows? Maybe there's a lot of just no charisma hacks going up against him. There's like,
I don't think your media are allowed
like
to,
Mort from Family Guy. It's like, oh, I just want to be the president of Russia, and they're like, oh, this guy sucks. I'm like, for Putin again.
Well, I think
this
that
article
guy
of the
that
dead Russian business people. Some of them is like, oh, this guy's 42. He fell 12 stories out of his apartment window, and it's like interesting. And then they'll throw one in here. Grigory Klinshov, age 92, found dead in his apartment. I think I've cracked the case on this one. 92, like that's a victory lap age. Like, no,
Yeah.
you
You're
can't
clearly
be
right.
You can't be dead in your 90s and like make a conspiracy around it. That's insane.
Unless, like, imagine if 3 90-year-old guys kick it the same day and they're all working for the same petrochemical place or something, though. I don't know. Putin seems so murderous. And what's interesting to me is that he has the squad to do it, because I know that we don't. And here's how I know we don't have that, like, presidential kill squad, because Donald Trump didn't kill a lot of people. We didn't see Rosie O'Donnell didn't get, like, taken out by SEAL
The argument
Team
I'm hearing is our kill squad's great.
If Rosie O'Donnell had been hit by an AC-130 one night, I'd have been like, oh, shit, he's got the trigger. He knows how to use it. But
well, the Clintons hired all the good ones, and now Trump's on fucking Fiverr.
You should have never put the murder Rosie O'Donnell button next to the Coca-Cola button on his desk. That was a terrible user interface.
I will take care of this for $25 for you. Some Indian guy.
Button.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have that. I don't think that there's. I believed that as a kid. I remember as a kid maybe watching like X-Files or something and being like, why doesn't the president just like go to that guy in the suit and be like, go kill this dude for me? He's talking shit. Because he'd have to do it, right? But I think he'd go report you right away. I think he'd go to like somebody and be like, the president just asked me to commit a murder. I just wanted to know, am I supposed to do those, or do we rest?
Dude, are you kidding? If the president asks you to commit a murder on his behalf, you think going to someone else and spilling the they're going to go tell the president. The president just you think you're the first guy that got asked? No, I mean, he's done this before.
Clearly, if I'm the second guy, then what happened to the first guy? I need to know. He clearly said no too.
Or he died on the test.
Maybe what if it's a test though? What if the president wants to see if you're like going to be his number one guy?
Yeah,
but he values that like decent people, and he wouldn't want someone who would kill someone on his orders, and he's waiting for you to say no, sir, that I won't do. And
that's
then he's going to pat you on the back.